Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here again with horse racing tips for Sunday, the 3rd of March. Well, that race turned into a right mess, the Doncaster race, but I have had a bet in the race, and I shall talk you through it now. In the previous video, I explained why. So what I've basically done is, originally I was going to have, what would I got? I think I got £9.30 left in my account. So I thought I'll have it on that one race. So that's what I've done. But for the last hour or so, I've also been looking at Newcastle, and I've actually found a second bet. So in the end, I've staked nearly £20. Whether you do that, it's up to you. But I do like the look of the Newcastle card. I ignored it originally. Well, let me just talk you through what I've had so far. So I've had a £1.15 reverse forecast. That was just to get the oddments out of my account at the time. Comes to £2.30, £1.15 reverse forecast, Ladron and Shanty Alley. And then what I've also done is, I've had bearing in mind there's only 5 runners now, so you don't want to get caught out by having it, well, I say that, but I might get caught out by it. There's only 5 runners, you don't want it going down to 4. So I've had a £1.50 each way single on Shanty Alley. It may be worth waiting until closer to the race before you place the bet to help prevent another runner being taken out and being screwed by only having win only. And £4 win single on Ladron. So you've heard about me reasons for taking on the first two in the market. I could be completely wrong. They might come first and second, the favourite and second favourite. But I just think there's doubts about them. It's very interesting that there's been all these withdrawals as well. So maybe the ground's even worse than you think. So let's get on to the 10 pence each way, lucky 63. So, the first selection is Vision of Hope at 5-1 in the 4.52 at Newcastle. I think it's potentially been lined up for this race because the prize money is pretty decent. It's just short of £8,000. Well, it's only a Class 6 2-mile race. Simon Pearce trains the horse. I think it will appreciate this step up in distance, and it has been running like it wants it. And it's also been coming from behind as well. So I'm thinking that it's quite easy to run into a bit of trouble or leave yourself with too much to do, especially when you're lining yourself up for a handicap in a few days' time, such as this one. So I think this could actually be the race for it. So Vision of Hope at 5-1, which is a tasty price. Word of caution, there's currently 8 runners. And that goes for the next race, which is the 5.25 at Newcastle. And the selection is Alchemistique at 14-1. This horse, last year, this race, the 4.52 and 5.25 was one race. It was one division. This year it's 2 divisions. And Alchemistique came second in this race last year. 14-1 is a bit too big. Also, Alchemistique had not ran before it ran in this race last year and ran a cracking race. It's now had a recent run, and it was also given too much to do, and another horse that came from too far behind and was a bit of an eye catcher. Well, it's got Grace I should never said her name now. Grace McEntee? Grace McEntee. Anyway, Alchemistique 14-1, 5.25 in Newcastle. 8 runners, be careful because it could go down to 7, then they're only paying first 2. Next selection is Boafo Boy at 9-2 in the 6.30 at Newcastle. 4 places instead of 3. I believe it's Marco Botti and Marco Gianni. They both absolutely fly. Competitive race because the first and second favourites have both won, I think, the last 4 races. So, interesting race. Interesting that Marco Botti has taken his horse this far. The next selection needs to improve, but it's just a type 2 really. I think it wants a fast pace, being tucked away, and Ruth Carr's horses are actually running pretty well. So Darwell Lion at 12-1 in the 7 o'clock at Newcastle, paying 5 places instead of 3. The next selection is Expert Agent at 17-2 in the 7.30 at Newcastle, paying 4 places instead of 3. Another horse that its early form when it reappeared, it was gradually running to a little bit of form, and then it's ran at Chelmsford twice now, and I don't think it wants that. I think it wants a straight. I think it's a straight 6. I think it is. It wouldn't have wanted the Chelmsford bend. It got too far behind and stayed on. I think this one, a nice fast pace. This horse once again similar tactics to Darwell Line, tucked away, come for a late run on this, hopefully this near side. And finally, Ocean Bliss at 10 to 1 in the 8 o'clock at Newcastle, paying 4 places instead of 3. I should probably be asleep by this time because I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. But Ocean Bliss, this will need another. The last 3 horses are basically the same tactics: tucked away, fast pace, and then come with a late run. So those are the selections for Sunday. There will be selections Sunday evening ready for Monday. So you can give this video a like, a subscribe, or do whatever you want with it. I really appreciate it. The very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.